is now in session. Please note the meeting is being audio recorded. My name is John Holman, Chair of the Commission, and I will be running tonight's meeting. We're your volunteer representatives appointed by our county councilperson or county executive and entrusted to monitor renovations and additions to our Baltimore County historic resources. We review and approve nominations to the Baltimore County Preliminary Landmarks List and comment on National Register nominations. Additionally, we are charged with evaluating submissions to the Baltimore County Historic Tax Credit Program that encourages the appropriate maintenance and renovation of designated historic properties. Would the commissioners please introduce themselves by name and county council district or representation? We can go in the order listed on the PowerPoint screen.
Lily's not here.
Okay, Chris Weston, District 2.
Wendy.
Wendy McIver, District 3.
John Holman, as I mentioned, and Celisa is not with us. Ray?
Raymond Scott, District 7.
Phoebe Evans Latosha, executive appointment.
Jamie Ferguson, executive appointment.
Scott Holopka, planning board representative.
Ed Horde, executive appointment. Vince.
Vince is not here.
And there's Chris. And there's Chris. Chris, can you introduce yourself in the nick of time here?
There we go. Chris Parts, executive appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we stand to recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to
the flag of the
United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you. The Landmarks Preservation Commission operates under the authority, standards, and requirements of Title VII, Article 32 of the Baltimore County Code. We refer to the United States Secretary of the Interior standards for rehabilitation as administered by the National Park Service. This is the accepted national standard for historic preservation projects. Our own Baltimore County Historic Preservation Design Guidelines directly reference and incorporate the Secretary of the Interior's standards for rehabilitation. We have important preservation issues to discuss and debate at each meeting. If you would like to make comments, please limit your comments to the specific application or proposal submission being reviewed. We ask for your assistance and understanding so that the discussions do not digress. As an additional comment, we can all agree that historic preservation is an important aspect of the quality of life and place that makes Baltimore County unique. As a commission, we seek to recommend significant buildings and places for landmark consideration to the County Council for their final vote. As commissioners, we serve on the commission due to our expertise, interest, and passion for historic buildings and places, and review submissions based solely on their merit. While we may disagree in discussion and voting, we continue to be a collegial body that respects each other personally and professionally. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And now we will talk about
just some reminders on offering comments. Yeah. So whenever your items up for discussion after staff has done their given their summary of the project, and after and if you have anything to add, you can alert the host selecting the chat feature, and then just select the host and send the question to me, letting me know that you would like to speak, or you can select the raise your hand icon as well as next to your name. In addition, just to let everyone know, from the public who's here, the commission receives all of the media material and applications that were submitted to us 1 week prior to the meeting so that they can review. And the information in this this PowerPoint is just a summary of that. It doesn't contain every single item. It's just more for a presentation and overview of the cases as a visual to keep the meeting manner. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you. Any changes for today's agenda that we need to think about?
No changes.
Okay, thank you. And approval of July 14th minutes for the 2022 meeting.
Motion to approve, Chris Weston.
Second?
Second,
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Chris. And now may we have a voice vote, please? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. And then we'll move to the consent agenda items. Are you going to introduce that, Jessica, or are you, Caitlin?
Oh, no, it's me. Hi,
Okay.
good afternoon, folks. So our first consent agenda item, number 4, the Mount Welcome Retreat. This is the Schlossnagel property located at 3144 Granite Road in Woodstock, County Council District number 4. This is final landmark number 244. The Mount Welcome Retreat, including farmstead, barn, and slave quarters and setting. MIP number BA009. The applicants propose various repairs and in-kind replacements to the bank barn siding, sill, interior framing, structure, and improvements to drainage around the foundation. And staff votes to issue a certificate of appropriateness as proposed, citing the Baltimore County Historic Guidelines, facade materials, page 5 and 10, National Park Service Technical Preservation Services, preservation brief number 20, the preservation of historic barns, County Code section 327403. And next is agenda item number 6. The Anson property located at 5001 Cedar Avenue in Relay, County Council District number 1. This is a contributing structure in the Relay County Historic District, and the applicants proposed Part 2 historic tax credit application for the in-kind replacements of the existing cedar shingle siding and porch roof replacements and exterior painting. Staff recommends to issue a certificate of appropriateness as proposed, citing Baltimore County Historic Design Guidelines, roofs, pages 1 through 13, facade materials, pages 1 through 12, County Code section 327405 and 11-2201. Consent agenda item number 8, Mcclung property located.
No, skip number 7.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Oops. All right, the Van Horn property, agenda item number 7, located at 3 Wall Avenue in Glendon, County Council District number 3. This is a non-contributing structure in the Glendon County Historic District, and the applicant is asking for an ex post facto review of a backyard shed replacement and driveway repavement / expansion, and this is a code enforcement correction. So staff recommends issue a certificate of appropriateness for the shed and driveway work as completed, citing Baltimore County Historic Design Guidelines, Fences and Landscapes, pages 1 through 5, County Code section 327403. Then number 8, Mcclung property at 1604 South Rowland Road in Relay, County Council District number 1. This is a contributing structure in the Relay County Historic District, and the applicant proposes Part 2 historic tax credit review for structural repairs to the foundation and framing of the home. Staff recommends to vote to issue a certificate of appropriateness as proposed, citing Baltimore County Historic Design Guidelines, facade materials, County Code section 327403 and 11-2201.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. Commissioners, are we all okay with all those properties being on the consent agenda? Anything that anybody wants to speak to or remove to the regular agenda?
I'm okay with those.
Hearing none, then may I have a motion that we approve the consent agenda items 4, 6, 7, and 8?
Chris Weston recommending a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
And a second?
And Chris.
Chris, thank you. Thank you, Chris and Chris. And then we'll do I think we ought to do a roll call vote, should we not, Jessica, for this one?
Great, thank you. Can we have Wendy, please?
Yes.
Ed,
Not mood. Go ahead.
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Chris Parts,
Yes.
Chris Weston,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
and John.
Yes,
Great,
yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. And then the first item on the agenda is number 5. It's not on the consent agenda, right?
Yes. Number 5.
Yes. So number 5 is the Huffnagel Miller property located at 204 West Seminary Avenue in Lutherville, County Council District number 3. This is a contributing structure in the Lutherville County Historic District, and the owners would like to replace their existing rear screened-in porch and construct a new screened-in porch within the same footprint of the existing. The proposed new porch construction will incorporate materials and design elements from the main house. And work item number 1 is the removal of the existing porch, which has a low sloping roof and corner wood stairs measuring roughly 18 by 9 by 17 and 8 feet. It will be carefully removed to expose the existing foundation and footings. And if possible, the footings will be reused or reworked for the new porch construction. Work item number 2 is the new porch construction itself, and a new wood frame porch will be constructed within the same footprint as the existing, roughly measuring 14 by 7 feet and 17 by 9 inches with a 4 by 4 wide brick stair that leads to an entry landing and a new wood screen door that will be constructed on the existing foundation, and if possible, the footers will be retained or reworked. In the event that they cannot, new footers will be poured. The main porch roof will be a gable on hip style with a higher slope than the existing porch to mimic the roof pitch of the main house. They'll be covered with architectural shingles. The gable detail will have a fixed window that mimics the triangle dormer windows on the main house. A low hip membrane roof will extend over the new brick steps and entry door. A portion of the existing house siding will be cut back at the new roof to allow for proper roof flashing behind the siding and then return. Railings, column, and bracket styles will mimic the front porch of the main house and will be milled of solid yellow pine and then painted. It will have an interior side black screen system that would be placed inboard of the railings and be removable for painting. A new set of brick stairs leading to the new screen porch door will be constructed at grade and rise 7 steps high to the porch deck / landing. The step railings will be white aluminum with a round or shaped style. The owners propose a couple floor decking options in their application, a composite and wood. Since the porch is located on the rear and the porch will be screened in, the flooring is technically considered an interior space and therefore is outside of the LPC scope. Staff has no issue with any of the flooring products proposed and welcomes the owners to pick their preferred material. More information about the decking material choices was included in your meeting materials packet. The porch will not extend past the bay window on the west side of the house and will not be visible from the road. Staff has no issues with the proposed porch construction as it is located on the rear and will be constructed in the same footprint as the existing porch. The proposed design is a great improvement over the existing. Staff finds that it is compatible to the historic house and adhere to the county design guidelines and recommends approval as proposed. So,
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. I understand the owner is with us and would the owner
Yes, we have,
add anything, make a comment?
sure. Christine, you're unmuted if you'd like to add anything to what staff has presented.
Oh, hi. I don't really have anything to add. I'm just hoping that we can approve this, and because it's kind of falling apart now, and we'd like to make it just look more like it was originally there.
Thank you. Thank you. And I will note that we did, and I'm sure the commission saw this, that we did receive a letter from the community association saying that they approved the work and were fine with it. I'll open it up to the commissioners for any comments, questions. And hearing none, do we have a motion?
Move that we accept the proposed revised design for the porch as proposed here.
Thank you, Chris. And a second.
Second, Chris Weston.
Okay, thank you, Chris. And then we'll do a roll call vote.
Okay. Can we have Wendy, please?
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Chris Parts,
Yes.
Chris Weston,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
and John.
Yes, and let me also add and thank the owner for being so thorough and giving us all the information we needed to make the decision for you at one sitting. So we appreciate that as always.
Oh, thank you all.
Thank you.
And Jessica, I'm a yes.
Did you forget Scott?
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. I'm so sorry.
And then we have one more. I think it's number 9.
Right. Number 9, this is the Harris property located at 3604 Stony Brook Road in Randallstown, County Council District Number 4. This is a non-contributing resource in the Fieldstone County Historic District. The owners proposed a one-story addition on the side elevation. The property is a circa 1950s 1.5-story brick minimal traditional home. It is considered a non-contributing resource to the Fieldstone County Historic District as it was constructed outside of the district's period of significance. The applicant is proposing to construct a new one-story 19 feet by 9 feet addition on the right side. This is the northwest elevation of the house. The addition will be connected to the larger of the 2 bedrooms on the first floor to create an ensuite bathroom with a walk-in closet or prayer room. The proposed addition will be set back from the front elevation about 9 feet, extend out from the side elevation around 9 feet 4 inches. It will have a low sloping shed roof that will be covered with asphalt shingles to match the main house. The addition will have vinyl siding that will match the siding that exists on the addition on the left side of the house, and a small 2x6 by 1.5 feet aluminum clad wood siding window will be on the front and right side elevations. A 3 by 4.5 1/1 vinyl double hung window will be centered on the rear facing elevation. The location, size, scale, and massing is compatible with the size of the main house as well as the lot size. The material choices are consistent with what currently exists on the house, and staff is accepting of the proposal and feels that it's consistent with the county's design guidelines. Staff finds that the proposed project adheres to the Secretary of Interior standards for historic rehabilitation, the county's historic design guidelines, and preservation brief.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you. I understand the architect is with us. Is there anything you'd like to add or just want to be available for questions?
Hi, Raphael, you're unmuted if you'd like to add anything to what staff, or you can just be available for any questions.
There is no question at all because that in that building we're using the same materials. that will match the existing materials. You know, no question at all.
Good. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions, any thoughts?
I just have one suggestion, is just a word of caution that it looks like all of the plumbing fixtures are on an exterior wall. So if you have freezing conditions there, it's not having to do with historic, but just to be careful if, you know, if there are freezing conditions, that's a risk for the owner. So just a word of caution, but I have no concerns about the historic aspects there.
Any other questions? Hearing none, can we have a motion?
I'll move to accept the proposal as designed.
Thank you, Ed. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Wendy. And then the roll call vote?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Wendy, could I have your vote, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Ed,
Yes.
Phoebe,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Jamie,
Yes.
Chris Parts,
Yes.
Chris Weston,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Marina,
Yes.
and John.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you to the architect for being on the call in case we had any questions. We appreciate that. So then the next is there were some historic property tax credit applications that are on the screen in front of us, just for your review and information.
So staff approved the following applications as an emergency repair or due to the receipt of a Part 2 application approval for work that was reviewed by the Maryland Historic Trust. So we have the Price property at 719 Pleasant Hill Road, contributing property in Owella's National Register Historic District, and this was for AC replacement that had a MHD Part 2 approval. We have the Snodgrass property also in Owella for roof rake repairs, and it also had MHT Part 2 approval. The Whistle property at 1201 Western Run Road, a contributing property in the Belfast Road National Register Historic District. It had a water treatment system and HVAC replacement, and it's also had MHT Part 2 approval.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then I know you sent out the 2023 meeting schedule, just a reminder.
Yep, that's just a reminder to mark your calendars early. And then also mark your calendars for, I'll probably have several more reminders before December 8th, but we'll have our commissioner training webinar, just to put that on your calendar.
Good. Good.
What's the time for the commission's training?
It should be at 6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of the substitute for a meeting, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
It wasn't on my calendar, and I have my calendar in front of me.
Kind of keep it easy for everybody.
Yes.
You get
Instead of adding an extra meeting, you still get one.
No, I do remember that. I just hadn't put it on my calendar.
Yeah.
This is why I'm going to remind you so many times.
Anything else to bring before the board from the commissioners? Hearing nothing, thank you all as always for coming, and we need a motion to end the meeting.
So moved. I moved. We adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, Ed. Second.
Second.
Good. Thank you. And this is just a voice vote. All those in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Surprisingly, hearing none opposed.
Thank
Meeting
you
is
all.
adjourned. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Nice short meeting.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you, Chris.
Thank
Bye,
you,
Ed.
Jessica and Kate, for that.
Bye, Ed.
All right.